Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of This Week in the XFL. I'm your host, as always, the referee representing XFL Newsroom, the number one source, in XFL news. So let's get started. So it wasn't a huge news week, but we have a few things to talk about. But again, before we get started, we wanted to talk about our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. We're getting closer. You know, your chances are going to run out, but here's what you have to do if you want to enter. And it's pretty simple. All you need to do is like this video, comment on this video, and make sure you are subscribed. This includes the video we released last week, this week, and every video until we reach 1,000 subscribers. So it's coming soon, so make sure you do those three things if you want to be involved. And again, if you're already subscribed, if you comment and like the video, you will be entered. And if you comment and like on multiple videos, that counts for more than one entry. And just to remind you, if you do win, you're gonna get yourself a snazzy XFL hat just like this one. And you know what? There might be some other goodies in there as well. So sign you up and good luck. And let's get into the news. So last weekend, the XFL was in Houston, right? So all 8 coaches, scouts, and executive members of all the teams were here. And why were they here? They were looking at the NFL cuts. So as you probably know, the NFL preseason has ended. The NFL season is here, and that's when they make a large amount of cuts. And realistically, the XFL is going to lean on a lot of those players to fill up its league, right? So a lot of these guys you'll see are going to start getting those draft invites. And if you want to stay up to date with all the latest draft invites, click the link down in the description. We're updating it every day. I believe we're up to 130 or 140 now, right? But that's a total of 800, so there's still a lot to come. And, we didn't learn a lot about what players they were looking at, but we did hear a little bit of news out of LA via Norm Chow, the offensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Renegades. And you know what? He said he has his eye on a particular quarterback that recently got cut, and that would be Cardale Jones, right? So former backup for the San Diego Chargers, I guess the Los Angeles Chargers now. Geez, I don't even know what's going on anymore. He has his eye on them. He met up with a reporter from The Athletic and he said, you would hope that this league would entice people like Cardale and give them a platform. A guy like him would be very valuable in the XFL, right? Why would a team not be interested? These are all things that Norm Chow said. So this may be one of those tier 1 quarterbacks, right? We know Landry Jones. There's 7 others coming, probably soon, right? The draft is coming in October, and that's just a few weeks away. We don't know when in October, but we heard early to mid-October, right? It's about a month and a half. And, if you were lucky enough to catch it, we posted something on the xflnewsroom.com on Sunday. We're not at liberty to say what it was, but you may have some insight into another one of those tier 1 quarterbacks. But Cardale Jones, I would be signed up on that. And you know what? Put him in LA. Let Norm Chow get his hands on him and see what he can do, right? I'm all for that. So we're going to switch topics here, and we're going to go into a little bit of bizarro world, right? The alternate universe of what if the XFL didn't name their teams the names that we all know and love, right? So last weekend, via trademarks, we learned what the alternate names were going to be. So initially, about a couple months ago at this point, we saw that Seattle, XFL Seattle, or the Seattle Dragons now, had trademarked 5 potential names, right? And once we learned the team identities, we didn't really learn any of the other alternatives for those teams. We didn't know if there maybe was some, or maybe they just didn't need to trademark them. Well, they did, right? So we're going to run down the list here. I would love to get your opinion on, do you like any of these better than the others, right? I've heard a couple opinions on Twitter and Facebook and on our Discord, which is a great chance for us to plug that right now. So click the link down in the description for that as well. Great place to hang out with other XFL fans. But regardless, we're going to look through this list. And before I do, one thing I want to mention, I actually like the names that were chosen over all of the names on this list. Now, I know once we get to St. Louis, there is some opinions both ways, and I think maybe even LA. But more or less, I like the names that we got, and I don't actually mind some of the names that we have here. So we're going to start with DC. So we have the DC Stars, the Sentinels, the Knights, and the Armada. I like the Stars. I like all of these names, really, but they don't match up to Defenders, right? And I really like that name, so hey, sign up DC, you made the right choice. Now we're moving on to Dallas, where we have the Blaze, the Bandits, the Lobos, and the Mustangs. I don't know, the only one I would maybe choose in this list to replace the Renegades, if I had to, would be the Bandits. The logo would still match, it would still fit, but I like the Renegades. So again, sign Dallas up there. Moving on to our hometown, the XFL Newsroom HQ city of Houston. We have the Comets, the Wildcatters, so not the Wildcats, but the Wildcatters, the Nitro, and the Octane. Now, I really like the Roughnecks, so maybe that's why, but I don't really like any of the names on that list. I guess if I had to choose one, it would probably be Comets, just because of the space relation in Houston, right? It'd be nice to kind of boost that up a little bit more, but I like the Roughnecks, so I'm glad we got that one there. So moving down to Los Angeles, we have the Gold, the Stunners, Wings, and Legion. I don't know. Quite honestly, I think Wildcat is the best one. Wildcats wins to me. But again, let us know your opinion down in the comments below. And if you leave that comment and make sure you like and subscribe, you'll be entered to win one of these hats. 1,000 subscriber giveaway, baby. Oh, yeah. So, moving on to New York, where we have the Gothams, Power, Grind, and Cannons. And this is another one. I gotta say, Guardians wins it for me. There's nothing on that list that really sways me any other way. But Guardians is a strong name, in my opinion. St. Louis. Now, this is the one that I've seen online that's had the most amount of back and forth thoughts and opinions here. So we have the Phantom, the Archers, the Grey Wolves, and the Aces. And the two that I've seen online that people probably would have chosen over the Battlehawks was the Archers and the Aces. And again, I like both those names. I would say the Archers are probably equal to the Battlehawks, but I like the Battlehawks. I like the logo. I like the colors. So, you know what? I think in the end, at the end of the day, they made the right choice. So the last one, we're going to end it off here with Tampa Bay, with the Predators, the Stingers, the Sharks, and the Frenzy. And again, you know, when we did our ranking the identities, right, Tampa Bay was at the bottom, but it wasn't necessarily because of the name so much as it was the logo. And again, I like the logo, and I really like the alternative logo. When I look at this list, I don't know. If I had to choose one, I'd probably go with Stinger or Stingers, maybe Sharks. But I don't know. I like the Vipers. I like the color. I like the feel. The logo is actually growing on me, and like I mentioned, I really do like that alternative logo. So I don't know. Like I said, we just went through the list. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. Or hey, if you're feeling like having a good time, click the link down in the description to the Discord and join a bunch of like-minded XFL fans in the discussion, because I'll tell you, there was a lot of discussion around these team names and really the day that those names got released. So we're getting excited. We're having a good time. We're a little over 150 days until kickoff, and we are getting signed up. So last night in Houston, there was a huge event. So we've already seen a few Q&As and meet and greets across a few of the different franchises. We've been lucky enough to attend all of the events in Houston so far, but last night's event was just a little bit bigger than the rest of them. Beyond the team president and beyond June Jones, we also got the full coaching staff of the Houston Roughnecks. Now that's a big deal, right? Usually these events you get one or two folks. We had a full house there last night. So the reason I suspect we had more folks at this event than the recent events or the past events is due to the fact that all of the XFL coaches were in Houston over the last weekend, like we mentioned at the top of this episode, looking at those NFL cuts. So why not just join the party and meet with the fans? So overall, it was a good event. It was a great time meeting with other XFL fans, meeting with the coaches, meeting with the executives, and learning the questions to all of our answers face to face with the league. And like I mentioned, if you're in Houston or if you're in any of the franchise cities and they're having one of these events, we strongly suggest that you attend. It's a great way to learn about the league. Like we mentioned, face to face with the people running the league. So, hey, that's all about it for this week. But before we let you go, if you didn't know, we're also on Facebook and Twitter at XFL Newsroom. Make sure you give us a follow. We're liking that premium handle there. And since we're on YouTube, make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell to see when we're dropping new videos. Some are going to be live and some are going to be pre-recorded, just like this one. Till next time, sign you up.